Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel T-Spot. In this video, in Season 2, a wiser but sadder Belly deals with sadness, loss, and real estate. Belly had just witnessed the most dramatic boy steps into dance with his brother's date in an archaic public ceremony that the town elders care more about than the youth moments since Dan inquired Alina onto the dance floor when Stefan was being a ripper. Conrad gave Belly the swing, passionate kiss she'd been waiting for while Jeremiah was distraught about his mother Susanna's illness and guilting her into an experimental study. From here, everything's okay, right? About that, let's review Season 2's first 3 episodes. Bring tissues, love lost, Susanna died. I'm sorry to be so harsh, but her absence defines the season, reverberating through the emotions and acts of everyone on screen as we jump between the present, the last day of school, and the previous year. In flashbacks, Jeremiah takes Belly and Conrad's news terribly and furiously tells her Conrad would destroy her heart. She's heartbroken by his fury, but Conrad assures her, "You're it for me, Belly." Belly's grades are low. Her volleyball captaincy was revoked, and she's hesitant to attend the major grad party that weekend. The family is struggling too. Before her death, Susanna sent Stephen a graduation care box and a handwritten message, which Laurel can hardly look at. Stephen blames his sister for making the Fisher brothers feel embarrassed and not attending the ceremony. In a flashback, Belly proposes she and Conrad pause so he and Deirdre can focus on their mother's disease. He grudgingly agrees, but asks she retain the necklace he got her since they'll always be endless. After a few hesitant phone conversations, their cool-it strategy turns into marathon 2 a.m. Conrad's Brown talks. As Princeton bounds, Stephen makes his valedictorian address. He says, "There are times where it feels like the world is happening to you, but remember that you are also happening to the world." Belly is not wearing the necklace. He F-bombs to urge his pupils to live for now. His remarks persuade Belly to attend volleyball camp and the grad party, which pleases Taylor. At the graduation celebration, Stephen watches in dismay as Taylor, her eyelids bedazzled in a style eye. An old call Euphoria light gushes about her new guy Milo. A machine gun Kelly want to be, who attempts to pass off Aerosmith Don't Want to Miss a Thing as a song he wrote for her. Things get worse when water gun Milo tears his shirt down the front to perform a lethargic version of My Own Worst Enemy. And Stephen, with an eye on Taylor, attempts and fails to crowd surf shirtless, knocking Belly over. The night gets worse. She misinterprets a classmate's interest in Marcy to get over Conrad. Stephen becomes upset when she leaves the party since she's his designated driver. They have an angry public argument with her accusing him of not caring about Susanna's death and him calling her selfish for toying with Conrad and Jeremiah and damaging his connection with both of them. Belly runs to her car shouting that she was crazy in love. Driver's license, like Cousins Beach Tides, follows the beeping. In a flashback, Conrad arrives to Belle's door in October to tell her that Jeremiah isn't over her and may never be. She encircles him and kisses him. She sobs all the way home, something untoward down between Halloween and graduation. Maybe it's Susanna's burial, so stay tuned. When Belle returns home, Laurel tries to have a mumversity in about her bad school achievement this year, but Belle responds by criticizing her absence while caring for Susanna and the boys. It's heartbreaking to see everyone's sadness over Susanna's passing harm others. Since they're grieving, everyone's at fault. Laurel accepts a meet and greet for her book about Susanna's death after reading Susanna's handwritten note to Stephen, which includes the phrase he used in his graduation speech, "You are happening to the world." Belle scans through images of Savannah, the boys, and Conrad in bed that night. She phones Jeremiah, who answers immediately. Dear hopes Conrad is with Belly because he left college the day before. He's not, so they grudgingly assemble a 2-person search party. Episode 2, Romance. Belly visits Cousins Beach twice in this episode. One will seduce, a heartbreaker, same dude. Belly quietly prepares a suitcase and slips out to meet Conrad at Christmas, who grins and gives her his coat to keep warm. Belly takes a bus to Brown and encounters a cold Jeremiah. He rejects her coffee and mocks her for never visiting Conrad's dorm. Conrad's flatnet recognizes his belly and claims Conrad sank into a depression following their breakup, making things difficult. She and Deer confirm that he's at Cousins Beach and must return on Thursday or fail his bio final. Belle sees her maternity necklace behind his laptop as she takes it. Jeremiah says she's only coming for Conrad. Bad, but she knows he's terrified and wants her to. Susanna died a month ago. Flat tires disrupt their difficult journey. Belly says they can fix it, but Jeremiah wants AAA, they can't. So Dear shouts at her for hooking up with him, then his brother, then everyone expecting him to be cool with it. Fair criticism. She apologizes for that and for neglecting her closest friend when Susanna was dying. He sobs in her embrace. Core, adorable child. After that, things almost feel normal. But when they stop for blueberry pie at Rosie's, they run into Nicole for a stilted discussion that proves the beach will never be the same. Let's meet up with Steven and Laurel before the big stuff. He's excited about her New York book event, and they have lunch. With Laurel preoccupied all year, Steven gamed the college scholarship system with a vast database and well-written essays. He's lucky. Laurel then shops for New York. Her second book, It's Not Summer Without You, is read by the saleswoman aiding her. That's Jenny Han's second book, which inspired the season. Laurel barely stays composed in the dressing room after Susanna reminds her. When Bella messages that she and Taylor are grieving over Titanic following Taylor's breakup with Watergun Milo, Steven realizes she's lying about her location. Steven's bookshop conversation with Taylor is unfortunate for Bella. Taylor attempts to cover for her closest friend, but she reveals Belly and Jura are looking for Conrad. Steven is furious because Jeremiah didn't call, and Taylor urges him to let Belly solve things. I hope as well. I hated that Guy Milozingers would lead to more Steven. Taylor smooching before he discovered Belly's lie. Let's start the episode's anticipated segment. She hopes and dread her reunion with Conrad when Belly and Jeremiah arrive at the home. Flashback their secret winter retreat. Belly cooks hot chocolate as Conrad starts a fire in the freezing home. Bookworms, did you see that Simpsons muck? They wrap up and walk outdoors to play in the snow on the beach. Weird but lovely. The Taylor Swift song playing over their euphoria is Invisible Strength. The series Kissing You plays as Belly and Conrad sit by the fire. They kiss and Conrad's cousin's rowing shirt comes off as they discuss what follows next. With Conrad telling her he didn't bring her to the beach home for this and Belle telling him it's what she wants. Soon they're skin to skin and illuminated by the blaze. Belle says, "There's only you. There's only ever been you to Conrad." Belle hardly had time to comprehend Conrad's beach property sales news. What is she doing here? He stares at her. Episode 3, Lovesick. Thus, the funeral. It's both horrible and tragic. First, meet Angelia. After Susanna's death, she took over the cousins' beach mansion. After telling Jeremiah and Belly about the open house tomorrow, she almost locks the motel door in their faces. Is she the season's easy-to-hate monster, or does her daughter Sky have a deeper story? Since both characters are show inventions, we don't know for sure, but Belly says Susanna inspired her to continue her painting, so I'm betting on the latter. Conrad is using his trust fund to buy the house entirely without Julia's consent. Pleased to leave college, he's ready to handle the for sale sign in the yard, which reminded him of losing his mother. Bella and Jer remained because they know Conrad drives people away in crisis. In a painful flashback, an unhappy Conrad sleepwalks through prom preparations before abandoning Belly on the dance floor to return to college. Belle follows him outside to confirm their breakup. As Conrad drives off, she takes the eternity necklace and pushes it into his palm, soaking her prom dress. Poor Belle, a 19-year-old whose mother isn't responding to her long-shot cancer therapy, can't be blamed, but her heart is torn. Steven, upset at being excluded from the Conrad search, tells Taylor that he's been summoned to Cousins Beach. She joins and gets Belly more clothing. Queen Taylor, Steven is thrilled she's riding shotgun until she tells him Watergun Milo doesn't feel intimidated by their road trip. Her summer makeout session was apparently a bust. Steven becomes snobbish about Milo's intelligence. Milo is terrible, and Taylor lashes out at his treatment of Belly at the graduation party. She drives the remaining leg and apologizes for his arrogance. Steven says he's divided between grief for Susanna and enthusiasm regarding college. Queen Taylor tells Steven that the Fisher brothers still adore him and that therapy taught her that pain and happiness can coexist. A wonderful reminder for us all. Bella and Jeremiah are okay in the beach home. He taunts her about her volleyball meanness and makes her vow to go to camp this summer. Conrad is more like himself. He's open to Dear donating his trust to the buy the home money and wants Bella to remain since it's her place too. It's a wonderful nod to Susanna's request to Belle last summer to keep the beach magic alive. In a flashback, we learn what happened during Susanna's burial. At church, everyone is crying, about to weep, or has cried and will cry again. Conrad plays his guitar and sings Last Kiss, crying up as he looks at Belle. She loses him at the wake after promising to stay with him. He's in the entertainment room with Audrey, his ex-girlfriend. Audrey shakes fist. He follows her out and they argue in the corridor. Belle hisses that Conrad was wrong to be engaged with her. The mourners in black don't notice their bad words until slips and falls as she attempts to leave. Belle witnesses Laurel's disappointment before her mother turns away every night before bed. She's with Conrad while they chat to his father, despite her pledge to never let him hurt her again. Despite the boys' distress, Adam won't allow them to use their trust to buy the house. Stephen and Taylor came in with pie and shouted surprise. After the difficult talk, Dear's heartbroken that he couldn't influence Adam's opinion, and Conrad apologizes for pushing everyone away. He says they'll work it out, starting with the open house disaster. The gang watches it happen one night on DVD as Belle secretly promises to protect this spot. Conrad escapes when his phone rings. Stephen pursues him to the shore as he panics. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.